I'd like to call this Monday, August 19th, Midstate Technical College District Board of Directors meeting to order. Roll call, Angie?
Sean Becker.
Here.
Betty Brusky Malik.
Yes.
Richard Murden.
Yes.
Ron Rasmussen.
Yes.
Charles Spargo.
Yes.
Ari Vang. Terry Whitmore.
Yes.
Ryan Zietlow.
Yes.
This August 19th, 2024 meeting of the Midstate Technical College District Board of Directors and all other meetings of the board and/or its committees is open to the public in compliance with state statutes. Notice of this meeting has been sent to news media and designated persons in an attempt to make the citizens of the Midstate Technical College District aware of the place, time, and agenda of the meeting. Open forum. The open forum is at the option of the board chairperson, and ground rules have been established to ensure the orderly conduct of business. This is a meeting of the district board, open to the public and not a public hearing. Persons who wish to address the district board may make a statement as long as it pertains to a specific agenda item. Individuals should not expect to engage in discussion with the members of the district board. The district board chairperson may or may not respond to statements made. Do we have anybody here in that regard? No. With that, I would entertain a motion to approve the July 8th board meeting minutes.
So move.
There was a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting minutes approved. Action on the consent agenda. We have payment of bills and payroll, contracted services, and procurement for goods and services.
We reviewed these in the Finance and Infrastructure Committee meeting, and all the questions were answered, so I'd make a motion to approve the consent agenda items.
We have a motion. Is there a second? We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, Angie?
Betty Brusky Malik.
Yes.
Ron Rasmussen.
Yes.
Charles Spargo.
Yes.
Terry Whitmore.
Yes.
Ryan Zietlow.
Yes.
Sean Becker.
Yes.
Richard Murden.
Yes. Chairperson's report. Thank you for joining us this evening. Ari asked to be excused. Hopefully she's having a nice vacation or summer break. Terry and Ron are both joining us this evening as a result of the recent board appointment process. Welcome back, Terry. Ron, would you like to introduce yourself if there's anybody that you haven't introduced yourself to yet? Or let's go around. You, and then
So Ron Rasmussen, I've lived in Wisconsin Rapids since 2012, and I served as principal of Lincoln High School until July 1st, and now I am the new superintendent for the Wisconsin Rapids Public Schools, and really excited, 7 weeks in.
you made it thus far.
Yes.
Chuck Spargo, Village of Friendship. Moved to Friendship from Minneapolis in '93. Worked for utilities for 40 years, mostly in Wisconsin, but half of it was roughly in Minnesota. Retired in 2017 and been on the board for about 10 years.
Betty Brusky Malik from the Village of Junction City. I'm the municipal clerk in Junction City. Served in that role probably as long as I've been on the Midstate Board. And retired also.
Rick Murden, just Ron and I led a summer course. I think was it a 1-credit course or something like that? That took teachers through area businesses for a couple of years. So that was a lot of fun. But I moved here in '84, worked at the mill, worked at Encourage, and now retired.
So Ryan Zietlow, CEO at Stevens Point YMCA. So I've been on this board for just over a year, I'm guessing. Is that about how long it's been? Moved up from Rhinelander. So we live in Amherst, but moved from Rhinelander, and I served on the Nicolay College board when I was up there as well.
Sean Becker, Will County Sheriff. Nice to meet you.
Terry Whitmore, Ron and I have worked together for years, but so I've been here since 2000 in the area, but then worked in Rapids with Ron some years, and then at Nakusa.
Good.
And now I'm semi-retired.
Yeah.
Bus driving?
And bus driving.
Driving?
Yeah, we need bus drivers bad. Rapids, Nakusa. So if you're interested, Betty.
Stevens Point.
Yep.
No,
No?
no.
Chuck?
I actually have a couple jobs. I should have said so. I have a dam job I live next to the dam and I operate it.
A
And I also-
DAM job.
That's my dam job.
Yes.
Yeah,
So I keep the level of the lake in order.
so you don't have time for bus driving.
No, but I also harvest weed.
Weeds.
Weeds.
Oh, on the machine out on the lake.
Yeah. I live on Friendship Lake.
Those weeds are probably more cooperative than some of the kids.
Yeah. So no, I can't drive bus, but I'd like to.
You would?
Yeah, I like driving.
Yeah.
But I've got two other.
Maybe retire from one of the other two.
All right.
Those are just summer jobs, aren't they? The weeds?
The lake I gotta adjust,
That's a big
Year-round,
job,
yeah.
Betty.
that's all year round.
Yeah, that's a lot of scooping, right? It's, District Boards Association, there's a planning meeting being scheduled for sometime in September. Angie's working with the DBA to find space to host the meeting. The Fall Boards Association meeting will be held November 20th through 22nd in Appleton. If anyone is interested in attending, please make arrangements with Angie. The last time we were there, correct me if I'm wrong, was that when we toured the, what I want to call it, the FAA facility? The, all they do for the air safety and
Aviation. whatever they call it.
aviation,
Yes,
yeah, it was really
yes.
very interesting. And it was also interesting, was that when we got to do the, like the shooting range? They have, where you go in, the scenarios where we had the
got the
gun and the
shoot
taser and, you have to try to, oh, is that a good guy or a bad guy? And that was very good. Anyway, any of the Boards Association meetings there have been very interesting. Betty, would you like to share a preview of the website and an update on recent association activity?
It is spectacular.
Oh, that's a lot better right there.
It's still under construction. The reason it hadn't been changed over is they're waiting for the domain, the transfer for the new website. This is Wild Apricot, and our Teams Association is in charge of the website. So I think everybody got a link to it.
What's a wild apricot?
It's the program of,
Oh, okay.
who knows Wild Apricot here?
Yeah, just a
okay.
hosting
Steve.
site.
Whatever, that's
Service.
what it is.
Okay.
I don't know, I just listen. So get familiar with this. They are importing all the previous information, especially, there we go. It has it'll have all the colleges, but they're gonna bring up all of the history. So it's important, I think, that we have some of the history, and but it shows so much, and they're gonna include a lot more pictures.
Can we go
This-
back up to resources? Do they have, under resources?
I can't see resources.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Second one,
You're fine.
second one.
Does it have a list of all the board members at all the colleges?
It should, yes,
Okay. Sometimes I forget names and.
yes. So it's got our mission, vision. It is,
They have
We're
a
still
document.
coming?
I think
Okay.
they have a document.
Yeah, they used to have the
They
booklet
do,
or whatever,
and I
but,
think they moved it, but I'm not sure that I've seen it loaded yet.
okay.
I think you'll be impressed with it. We are. And they're going to continue to be adding to it. So I'm hoping the November information will be up. And as soon as it comes to our college, Angie will be getting that out to us.
Is there anything specific
Oh,
Betty,
there
that
it
you
is.
wanted to
Okay.
see?
No,
or-
just this. This has the dates. Just so you're aware that it has changed and it's more friendly. It's
Okay.
more user-friendly than the old one used to be.
I
We
used
do
to have
have
to hunt.
past event materials at the bottom of the events page as well. So if that's what you were looking for.
There you go. Okay,
Very nice.
it will be very nice.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Angie.
you.
ECCT Leadership Congress is coming up October 23rd to the 26th. Very exciting event there. Shelley's recently been named ACCT Central Region CEO of the Year.
How did that happen?
She'll be honored during the upcoming Leadership Congress. I think both at a luncheon and then at the gala. So very neat, very neat. Okay, due to travel the week of ACT, Shelley's asking for consideration to move the October board meeting 1 week earlier.
So just because of travel, that's the same week. And so I just wanted to ask if there was any consideration for that. That is evaluation month for me. So I didn't know if you would be able to do it the week before. Otherwise, we could keep your meeting the way it is. I would just attend virtual if that's an option. Or we could wait to do my evaluation if you would like to do it like the next month. I'm asking for that consideration because I'm hoping my husband is going to travel with me.
Yes.
And we're looking at maybe taking the train out. It's been kind of one of our maybe bucket lists. And so just need those extra few days to be able to get out there.
Sure.
And so that's why I'm asking for that consideration. But understand if we're not able to do it, that's okay as well. Just wanted to be upfront because the conference would start on that Wednesday and our board meeting would be on that Monday. And I think Chuck maybe is going out and then Rick
Yeah.
as well.
14th is good for me.
Works for me.
For me also?
I will have,
able to, but.
I will have a conflict on the 14th unless we can meet a little earlier, because I have a 7 o'clock standing committee.
Would that be
14.
okay? If, now, Ron, you said 14 doesn't work for you?
Well, yeah, because that's our regular board meeting night.
Oh, okay.
If we went a little earlier, I could at least make finance.
Okay. Would 3 o'clock be okay? Would that work, Betty?
It would for me.
Start 3?
Works for me.
Bus driving?
I can make it work.
Okay.
Okay.
Wonderful.
3
Thank you for
o'clock on
that
the 14th.
consideration. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Employee Winter Celebration. Mid-States Employee Winter Celebration will be held Monday, December 16th. In the past, board members have been invited to join staff for the celebration and wear appropriate attire. Was there an ugly sweater last year?
Yes, I don't know if it was last year, but we have done that. Whatever Karen comes up with, she's always the person. Was it ugly sweater last time or was it something else? I think it was something else.
Yeah, we did.
You didn't want to wear ugly sweater anymore.
I wore a Star Wars sweater, and I think it was Ben that said, "Oh, nice ugly sweater." I said, "Hey, that's not an ugly sweater."
I can relate. Betty did that to me. I thought it was a very nice sweater.
Yeah.
I do not wear sweaters in the winter any longer. I've had that happen to me a couple of times.
As a board, we'll again be invited to join the college in a celebration on that day for a luncheon. It's a very nice time. Given this is also the December board meeting date, we'd like to offer an opportunity to adjust the meeting time, either host the board meeting in the morning and end with lunch, or in the early afternoon and begin with lunch. So that would be December 16th, yeah?
We just know that some of you do stop in for that lunch.
Yeah.
And we just thought, gosh, if you are coming to have lunch with us on that day, would you at all want to, adjust your meeting? It was just a consideration for you because we know you're busy. That is, we typically close from about 11:30 to 1, and the doors really do close, so we, have you. We've had a couple.
Except for the FedEx
I
store.
know, we've had a little bit where that wasn't real clear before. I know we've had some board members that have came a little late as well. So we just wanted to be upfront, and if you were planning on coming to join lunch, it's not really a formal program. It's just some special words that we say and really have a celebration with our staff. But if you wanted to piggyback the board meeting at all, that is fine. If not, we'll just leave it that evening.
I'm open to
Preferences?
whatever the consensus works for everybody. I mean, if you send out a little memo, morning or afternoon, after lunch.
Certainly can. I could email the group if you'd prefer,
Okay,
with some details.
For us retirees, no problem.
sure, right. And kids are in school, so. The next meeting date will be Monday, September 16th, here at Wisconsin Rapids. Committee of the Whole will begin at 5 with a regular meeting to follow,
Unless we change the time.
unless we change. No, this is September. That's September. So September, we're good.
Okay,
Same time, yeah, September. The October one is.
got it.
All right, so that takes us to President's Report. Shelley?
Yes, thank you, Rick. Just a few things. So under campus activities, just a follow-up to the email that I had sent to all of you to let you know that our CFO, Greg Bruckbauer, has announced his retirement. We are very sad, but very happy for Greg. He has been an amazing member of the executive leadership team, and I'm definitely going to miss working with him. We are very much trying to have him change his mind, but I don't think that's going to happen. His last day is going to be January 3rd, and so when the executive team met, which we do for all positions that are going to come up, we really talk about, do we need to post right away? Do we want to look for, a consolidation? Like, what do we want to do? And that's a very important position for the college, so we have decided to go ahead and post it right away. It is out there. We are hoping to do interviews in September and hoping, if we have a qualified candidate, that an offer could go to that person in September as well. And we would think that, most people would maybe need to do maybe a 30-day type notice. So really hoping if we could have someone come in by the end of October, which would really give a couple of months with Greg, because when you think of January, that's really the start of a budget. And so to get that person in a couple months early to know how to go ahead and lead that, I think will be crucial. So we're very happy for Greg, but again, sad for us, but so appreciative of everything he's done. So.
Thank you.
Here.
And they are looking for bus drivers.
Yeah.
And with Ameta, the grand opening, we had a number of grand opening festivities, and I'm excited because I know that Ryan and Chris are going to give you some updates on that, so I will not steal their thunder at all. And then college in-service, we did have a number of neat things that happened, including the Gritties, which I believe Karen is going to speak to through the committee as well. So again, I won't take that thunder. And then today is like the first day of our semester classes. So there's always a little bit extra buzz. Of course, our summer term is ending almost, but now our fall semester is starting, and it's been a good day. It's been a good day. I have not heard of any faculty not showing up or some of those things that can sometimes happen, but this whole week we'll definitely be getting ready. Some people will say, gosh, I don't see as many people like I would think being the first day of classes. Well, keep in mind we have many campuses, many locations, and we are still seeing that virtual classes are very popular, or some of those options where people can stay at home and watch the lectures and so forth. So we definitely are busy, and I know Mandy gave a report about summer, and so I'm excited for you to hear those percentages for the people that were not on that committee. For community involvement, I do sit on the Boys and Girls Club of Portage County, and I was involved on July 17th with their strategic planning process, which I love to do. And so I was part of their SWOT analysis and excited to see what's going to come out of that. Farm Tech Days happened last week, so Midstate had a presence, and we were at Cadott. And so thank you, Betty, because I think you were there and saw our booth, and great. And then Central Wisconsin Fair is going on this week, I believe that's Marshfield. And so we are also helping with the 4-H youth show and the market animal sale. So again, just wanting to have that presence, which we want to do with our partners. For the WTCS President's Association activities, the next state board meeting is September 10th and 11th. And again, that is going to be up at North Central Technical College, so I will be attending that. And then we will be hosting the November board meeting. State board meets every other month. So in November, we will be hosting them, and we will be hosting them in our new Ameta Center. So we're excited because the state board was very supportive of approving everything for us to be able to move forward, and for them to be coming shortly after we opened is just, I'm excited to really show them how we put all the good things to work. So that would end my report unless there's any questions.
Well, I've got a comment. I want to
Yeah.
commend some kudos to Craig
Yes.
and company. We had an update at Rotary on last Thursday from the local chamber, and we heard about the community leadership program that's being, what would you say, changed into a 1-credit leadership credited class. So there's a lot of us, class of 93, that have gone through that community leadership program. So to see those changes and the collaboration with Midstate is really neat.
That is good.
Yeah.
We were just at a meeting where we heard that some people that had gone through it want to come back through it so they can get the college credit. So, that was neat to hear. So there you go. There you go,
Yeah.
Rick. But no, Craig and his team, they're out and about and they're doing some really neat things.
It's very good. All right, committee reports, finance and infrastructure, Chuck.
We've already addressed the consent agenda items. We're going to be reviewing both the June 2024 and the July 2024 financial reports. I'll start with the June reports, but please note that the June activity is still being reviewed and processed, and the audit has begun and will make some changes to it. I'm sure minor tweaks here and there. The auditor's presentation is tentatively scheduled for November. On the budget notifications for the month of June on page 34, the biggest item there is an adjustment for dual credit. And I think that's a very significant one. If I remember correctly, the original budget was something like $500,000, and now it's being adjusted for another $1 million. That's phenomenal. Dual credit is going gangbusters. Great to see. So we've got very nearly the same budgeted revenue and expense change, so the fund balance change is very small. The next page shows the budgeted revenues adjusted for those modifications. And again, the audit will probably do some more tweaks before we're all done. If we go to the next page, 35 portrays our, page 36, accrued revenues, expenditures, and changes in fund equity, portrays the interim changes in fund equity at month end. For the 12 months ending June 30th, the general fund accrued revenues exceed accrued expenses by $317,000. FY 2024 activity is still being processed, and our annual audit performed by Whipley is tentatively scheduled to be presented at in November, as I mentioned before. The year-to-date revenues total $65.8 million. Expenditures for all funds total $76.4 million. The difference between revenues and expenditures, of course, is funded by our borrowings and the use of Ameta funding, which was recognized the year before, so it doesn't show up here. I want to highlight a couple of items. If you look at column 1, Fund 1, the percent of budget recognized in revenue is 91.4%, and the expenditures is 90.3%. So we did a very good job of managing expenditures to match the revenues, and in fact, what you see of down below, changes in fund equity of $317,200, our budget was actually indicating that we'd be borrowing from fund equity of about $116,000. So that's a $400,000 swing to the positive, increasing our year-end fund equity. That's a very nice thing. Also of note, if you look at student fees of $6,720,000 in current actuals for the year to date, our budget was $6,843,000. So extremely tight with respect to budget and actual. So just a phenomenal job in terms of student revenue, and I think Shelley pointed out that program revenue was the big ticket item that carried the day there. The next page is the balance sheet. Shows cash and investments for month end totaling $19.9 million. If there are no questions with June, again, it's all tentative based on the audit, we'll move on to July. The first page, page 38, shows budget notifications made for the month of July. We're creating a lot of budgets for the new year. That's what's happening in the general fund category. And in the Fund 3, Greg mentioned that while it looks like a significant change there in the oral health grant category, it's really just changing it from one type of budget item to another. It's still in Fund 3, but it's being recategorized, so it moves out of one into another. And it's moving from, I think, one account into two, reflecting that we're getting money from two different sources. We got the Delta Dental and then the state money. So there's a different account number for those different funds. The next page shows the budget amended for those changes. That's page 39. And the next page, page 40, shows the current actuals for the fiscal year. We're 1/12 of the way through, 8.3% of the year, and we've expended 6.4% of our revenue in terms of the total funds. But if you look at column 1, Fund 1, which is where we have the most of our monies, we're at 8.4%, so right on the button in terms of year-to-date expenditures, meeting with 1/12 of the year having passed. Obviously, the revenues are a little bit low at this point, but Greg indicated that we'll see a big jump in student fees next month, and then in a couple months after the tax revenue gets recognized, we'll see a big jump in terms of the local government funds there.
So Mandy, where is FAFSA working now? And do students know how much they're gonna get at this point?
They do know how much they're going to get if they apply. A large number of just errors nationally that are happening because now they created a new FAFSA, they created a new system, some new software system, and everybody. So, they're still working on that as well. So, but yes, the students are getting their.
Okay, good. Thank you.
If you look at page 40, current actuals, we've had 1.8 million in revenue and 4.1 million in expenditures. But again, the revenue will catch up in the next couple months. The next page, page 41, shows balance sheet, cash and investments for month end, total 20.9 million. If there are no questions on those reports, we'll move on. We had no action items this evening, and we had no informational items. That would conclude the Finance and Infrastructure Committee report.
You have no bids, no meta stuff?
A lot of money being spent, but, you know, stuff we've already approved.
Approved.
So
Well, I know we've approved a lot, so, okay. On to academic and student services.
That'd be me, right? Yeah. Couple things to bring up. One thing we'll take some action on would be the global education opportunities. Midstate provides opportunities for students to study abroad, and there's two of them coming up, Japan and Germany. Japan, the May 2025 trip offers up to 14 students. Will get to go to Japan for 10 nights, and they'll also get 1 credit in global cultural experience. So The itinerary includes cultural tours, historical site visits, and a lot of opportunities with some unique experiences within the travel plans. Germany, it's a mid-states German exchange. It's a short-term educational and cultural exchange. Participants will travel, I can't say some of these names.
In some of the towns, yeah.
They're gonna go to Germany.
Germany, there you go, there you go.
They're gonna
Deutschland,
They're
Deutschland.
gonna learn things.
Deutschland über alles.
So the board needs to take action on this to approve it.
Okay. And that's a voice vote? So I'd entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Okay, next, academic semester launch started today, as we heard. Just a couple of things to update on, or a few things. Hired 6 new full-time faculty. The new faculty have gone through new faculty onboarding and begin the faculty quality assurance system training. New faculty are paired with a faculty mentor, hosted 2 4-hour part-time faculty in-service sessions, along with also a full day for full-time faculty, a full-time faculty in-service. TV guide theme, which we did get to see, pretty cool, the way it was presented. The agenda included general updates, artificial intelligence, supporting student resume building, quality online engagement, counseling supports, resources for students, Blackboard Ultra, provided 3 live trainings for new on-campus video conferencing technology, and each dean hosted a meeting for their school welcoming faculty back and went over updates.
AI, so what, any changes in curriculum or approach for
Definitely, you know,
consideration of AI?
definitely that Apex team. We have some champions in our faculty ranks as well who are really educating and trying to kind of show how AI can be used in a very good, promising, proactive way. And so we want to continue to do that. But you might remember one of our college goals this year is the college what really wants to establish a foundational, how would I say, policy, information. How are we going to continuously learn about AI just across all areas? Because even if you are working in business services or you're working as a counselor or you're really in any position, you might be asked to do a PowerPoint for something. And how would you use AI for that? And so we're really trying to get AI across the organization and all the roles and showing how they could use AI to make their job, I don't want to use the word easier, but to have a reference there. And so, yeah, we're trying to do that. And it's going to take all year for us to really establish how we're approaching it. But we definitely wanted to make sure that all full-time faculty are learning about AI. And that's why they put it on the faculty in service this year. But yes, but we need to do it in every role of the college. So we're trying to figure out how to do that. And if you recall, I may have mentioned to this group that one of the WTCS asks, I think I may have shared this last month, that we're going to be asking is for some money for AI for all 16 colleges. So we don't know if that will make it in the governor's budget or not, but definitely AI is here. It's not going away. We want to be able to learn how to use it and use it in the right way. And then in education, we also have to talk about what happens when people maybe use it in the wrong way. And that's where the policies come in, and what does that mean if you're a student and staff. And so it takes a little bit of time to do that, and we want to do it well.
Thank you.
And the last update is on summer enrollment for summer 2024 shows an increase in overall headcount and FTE compared to the previous summer. Headcount is up by 26%, FTE is up by 4%. Marshfield, downtown Stevens Point, and virtual campuses had increases in headcount. Adams and virtual campuses had increases in FTE. The school with the largest headcount increase was public safety, with allied health, general education, hospitality, and workforce and continuing education also seen increases in headcount. School with the largest FTE increase was general education, with adult education, hospitality, and workforce and continuing education also seeing increases in FTE. Contributing factors, Marshfield campus focus, nonprofit conference in Marshfield, MetaMove, increase in summer camps, and general education university transfer courses continue to see growth. So, yeah, very nice.
Just that I got that right, that's 26%?
26%.
Holy
Didn't hear
cow.
that wrong. 26%.
Wow, great.
Awesome.
Are we gonna be number one again?
Well, it's too early. Well, we know, no pressure, Betty, but we definitely, well, we do know that for a fact now. For 23-24, the year that just ended, we were number 2.
Okay.
And we are celebrating that. Oh my goodness, that is to be number 1 and come back and be number 2 of 16. But now we're just starting the new year. And again, we've had this upswing and we've had like 30%, you're hearing 20, you know. There's going to be a year where we're not going to be up. I'm preparing you all.
Yeah, you say that every time.
I say that every year because we really are. We have just, we continue to really be thinking outside the box, and we're so lucky because people are partnering with us and the message is getting out. But there is going to be a day where you can't, you know, but we're so pleased. I mean, summer, the staff is amazing. I mean, how do you get, I mean, and when I say this to my colleagues, they, you know, what is Midstate doing? And I think when they hear our numbers for summer, Andy's again going to get calls because but we're offering more, and Chris has got a good mix of courses that he's putting out, and that's what it all is, right? And conferences, and yeah, everybody's working hard.
Super,
Awesome.
awesome, very good. Human Resources and External Relations Committee, that's me. Okay. So we did not have any consent agenda items. We had 2 informational items. Do we have any pictures of the Rafters Night? Oh, you have that at your place. Rafters Night, what was the date on that?
Yeah, yeah.
July 18th, so you'll see the picture, record 340 people attending, including, who's the most recent one? Cody,
Was 2
which
months old.
Shelley is holding.
Get the great, yes, I got the privilege. And just to note, he didn't cry when I was holding him. He didn't cry.
But it was Whiteout Night was the theme for the Rafters. That's why all the T-shirts were white, but an excellent night for the staff and the whole organization. Very nice,
It was
very well
run
done.
really
as-
well,
as
Karen.
usual. Beautiful weather. Rafters didn't win, but despite all the cheering by Midstate. The second informational items we had was the college-wide in-service. So, and that was August 6th. So we've heard a little bit about that, about the in-service. We heard about the accreditation information. There was also information on anthology update. And then there were the Gritty Awards. And Ryan won Supervisor Manager of the Year.
Yay.
And let's see, Innovation of the Year was TechCon 1.0. That was your light up glasses, right?
It was the IT staff
Yeah.
that put on that. It was so cool.
Great for that. WED Champion of the Year is Brenda Hudak. Team of the Year was the Anthology Core Team, and that's a huge, huge team. So kudos for that. And who is the? Here it is. President's Eye Care Champion Award, Brian Sadler. I don't know.
Yeah, Brian is one of our counselors. Who
Okay.
does an amazing, so iCare is, we pick that one employee that really exhibits all of our core values every minute of every hour of every day, and that is Brian.
And the safety and security training was tourniquet. And nobody lost any limbs or body parts, so that was good. And as a wrap-up, there was a survey that went out. About half of the respondents responded, and there was a 98% overall satisfaction with the in-service. So again, what a wonderful job done with the in-service. That's appreciated by the attendees. So congratulations on that. Also, Craig updated us, and I think you all have these pieces, what are we calling these? The Farm and Exploration Center courses, as well as the Something for Everyone. But again, just a plethora of opportunities for all kinds of different categories, including blacksmithing. So, and at Ameta, what do you want to call it? Artistic welding, lawn welding, or what do you call it? What? Junk art? Okay, garden art. Oh, can't wait to see some of the results there. Yeah, so highlights include culinary courses, a lot of culinary courses, and wine tasting, backyard poultry, and homesteading, and mental health first aid. So a lot of opportunities to keep those head count and FTEs coming. That's all I have for that. As far as committee of the whole, we heard about the Higher Learning Commission Accreditation Sustainability Update, preparing for the 10-year accreditation visit next year. A lot of hard work going into that, and really, I think for me, the key there was the talk about looking at this work as a process for continuous improvement, and not just checking the box and meeting the requirements. So really good to hear that, and it's good to hear the progress in all those different areas. And we were presented with a third of the board policies to review, and noted some of the proposed minor changes to those policies. We'll be taking a look at those and coming back to provide some feedback on that. In terms of discussion and action, mission, vision, strategic directions, and strategic plan. Chris, you're up again. And Leanne. And Sheila again.
Thank you again. So in July, we shared outcomes of all of the data that we had collected since we launched our strategic plan surveys back in spring. We also provided a 2-week window for any final comments based on that data that was collected. And today we really want, and I'm appreciative for Sheila and Leanne to come up and really lead this discussion, but we'd really like to now kind of affirm from the board our mission, vision, values, as well as share out our strategic directions with you. So they're going to go through some information based on that, and we'll seek the board to
For Ron's edification, can you just give a semblance of the number of meetings and community meetings and then all that process that is funneled down into this?
I appreciate that question, Rick. So really this was initiated back when Shelley did all of her employee reviews and really garnering, are we hitting the mark? Where can we improve? As well as then we had campus advisory meetings with a diverse group of employers, and we really asked approximately 15 questions. Here's our mission, vision, values. Are they still relevant? Are they still active? And then really questions that led to what else are we missing? We sought that information both quantitatively and qualitatively in our campus advisory meetings, but then we developed a formal survey and sent it out to all of our stakeholders, to include our board, K-12s, our community members, all of our employers, and along with that survey information, we garnered feedback just collectively in what we call environmental scanning, and what are education institutions focusing in on, really across the world. And as we collected not only our survey data, but also looked at this environmental scanning, we tried to find themes, and really that's the work that Sheila has done. So between a 30-plus strategic planning survey committee, and then there were about 6 of us that were participating in this core team. And we were meeting every month, if not multiple times each month, to look at and evaluate the information that was coming back to us, and then just ensuring and really validating, is the data telling us what it really should tell us? Are we analyzing it appropriately? And hence, what we brought to you back in July was really, what do the data say? And what are going to be our new pillars for the next 5-year strategic plan? So we're in the 4th year of our 5-year strategic plan, and we're really excited to now.
Actually, 5th year.
I'm sorry?
5th year of our
Oh, sorry.
5 years.
We're in the last year
Yeah.
of our 5
That's why we're embracing a new one, right, everybody? Yeah, and you can tell with the results. The strategic plan has really helped us, I think, stay on task. So this team, how many responses have you had to all of that stuff?
Yeah, with our surveys, it was probably close to
650-ish.
50-ish. And I think the last time we did this, it was just a little over 500. So we were really appreciative with all the stakeholders that took the time to answer our survey.
And the pillars, Ron, you might recall, like those areas of focus when we set our programs, our K through 12, workforce, starting our workforce and economic development, bringing back our continuing ed, and then it was really, again, to being innovative as a district. So they're going to present to you now what the next pillars are going to be, and then if you recall, when you have pillars and you're going to focus on those, you need to adjust your strategic directions. So they're going to show you what that new wording may be as well.
Thanks for the background.
So Sheila, Leanne, go.
All right. So just a refresher, this is the kind of the visual that we made for our last set of pillars. So you'll recognize that. That will change with our new set of pillars, and I'm always excited to see what comes out of that. So very excited about the next set. But our 5-year cycle did begin in 2020, and it will end in 2025. And the next year cycle begins right on top of that one, and it will go through 2030. We did have an 8-member strategic core team that met, and then we had a cross-departmental 26-member strategic planning committee. That committee was amazing. Just the discussion and the ideas that came out of that, and it's incredible when you bring that many stakeholders to the table because they all bring their unique perspective. So this did include student representation, which was exciting.
Okay, so Chris touched on this just briefly. So you can see from fall 2023 through late spring 2024, we participated in multiple ways. We conducted advisory committee meetings, environmental scans, stakeholder surveys, SWOT analysis, strategic planning sessions, and it culminated in an open comment period in July 2024 to validate strategic directions.
All right, so now it's your turn. And we're seeking input from you at this point. We, as a committee, will in a moment, or as a board, will vote to reaffirm our current mission and vision. We've had a lot of people affirm this, but you are the final voice. So very important part of this process. Our mission statement, of course, is Mid-State Technical College transforms lives through the power of teaching and learning. I love sharing that with our new faculty. Just setting that purpose for them. And our vision statement is Mid-State Technical College is the educational provider of first choice for its communities. So at this point, we have had 19 responses during our open comment period to affirm this, and I'm going to ask you at this point, do you have any discussion around this, any comments? This is your opportunity to respond. And then we will take a vote in just a minute. We're going to do one more thing before we take that vote.
Because I think last time, Leanne, you had presented how it was, all those numbers, if you remember some of those diagrams showing that those 600 and some people very much were saying no
This is
changes.
good.
And then that open time, you just had another 17 people who chimed in again. not expressing any change as well. So that's, I think, what you're bringing, correct? To say, everything is said, we should reaffirm, but you as the board, it is your right to adjust or to change.
I see no reason to change it. Looks excellent to me, both.
That's what the stakeholders
That's
have.
what the stakeholders told us, so you're just kind of doing that final action.
Yep.
Good with me.
Okay, then we'll move on to the next part, and then we'll take our vote for that.
You can go to the next slide. So the next part is the core values affirmation. So again, based on the collected, analyzed, and shared data, it's recommended to continue with the core values with the student-centeredness remaining at the center. So again, if there's any discussion on those particular values. Feedback.
No changes recommended.
Right.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Then it is time for us to vote to affirm, so I'll let you work that process, and all we need is the board to approve.
I would make a motion to endorse the mission, vision, and core values as presented.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, Angie?
Ron Rasmussen,
Aye.
Charles Spargo,
Yes.
Terry Whitmore,
Yes.
Ryan Zietlow,
Yes.
Sean Becker,
Yes.
Betty Bruschi Malik,
Yes,
Richard Merton.
Yes.
that was easy.
There's more.
But wait, there's more.
This sets the direction for us to then make that graph next, but we want to make sure
Good.
you're in support.
You can move to the next slide. Okay, so as we move forward with the 2025-2030 strategic plan, the first two pillars are educational quality, focusing on alignment, addressing disparities in student success, and identity, which emphasizes strengthening community ties and making Midstate a valued and vibrant hub.
And then our next set of pillars are accessibility, wanting to meet students where they are in the career path, as well as designing programs to meet our employer needs and reskilling within the workforce. This also includes streamlined admissions from our K-12 partners and our HSED and GED dual credit. We want to make sure that every resident in our area has accessible education. Community engagement is our last pillar, and this focuses on the continuous learning within our community and ensuring that we keep those strong partnerships and collaborations. Just keep working with those partners, whether it's through programs or workforce development or continuing education. This is not just to retain talent in the area, but to cultivate those relationships with our schools and businesses, all with the goal of strengthening our local economy.
So what is the note there? Agility will be integrated into all pillars.
So agility was another theme that continued to come out through everything that we did. And so we decided to make that, weave that throughout the pillars.
Okay.
In that quick response, and I think that that's one of our strengths as a technical college system, is to be able to be agile and quickly respond to the needs in the communities. So that will be integrated throughout every part of our pillars. All right, so that leads us to our strategic directions. So the first strategic direction will stay the same as it was in our last strategic plan, with a little bit of change in vocabulary. So in the old strategic plan or strategic directions, it said provide responsive and flexible, high-quality education, and we are changing that to provide agile and accessible, high-quality education, which helps to weave that agility through there and our responsiveness. So really aligning that with our pillars. The second strategic direction will stay the same except to add the word engaging, which brings in our engagement pillar. And then this third strategic direction, if you remember in our last strategic plan, it was K-12 and workforce development. We feel like that has been operationalized now. It's just a part of who we are, it's part of our culture. So our new strategic direction is to strengthen college identity through comprehensive engagement with stakeholders to make impactful contributions to the community. And that will replace that K-12 partnership. So that is our strategic directions proposal. Once again, we offer it up to you for discussion.
When we had established our pillars last time, we wanted to make sure that we could show strategic direction, meaning this is where we're headed. And we wanted to be able to say, gosh, if you have a pillar that talks about accessibility, you should have a strategic direction that says accessibility. And then how we take it out to the college is these strategic directions and those pillars go down to the team action plan, where all of the teams will talk about how are they going to help educational quality, how are they going to work with community engagement, how are they going to work with accessibility. That's kind of how we take it across the organization, and that's how we really have been able to meet our key results. So just to kind of explain that a little bit. So probably how you have the 5 pillars before, I'm seeing 4, and it's just adjusting strategic direction now so we can really point to that. K through 12 relationship not going to go away at all, but we really made it a more of an intentional focus because there was so much we had to do. And we feel like there is still more opportunity. That's not what we're saying. But it's going to be part of our continuous improvement that we would do in every area. Where if you have a strategic plan, it should be what is that going to be those intentional focuses that you're going to work on. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's really calling and you validating what our stakeholders are telling us. And with the identity piece, I think that also is very much, we have our brand. I think most people would say we've upped our game with our brand. But what we do find from an identity standpoint is people still don't know exactly what programs we have or what areas, and we want to do better with that. And make sure that people understand more about university transfer. And they also make sure that, we do ELL and we do fire training. There's still kind of a lost, we think there needs to be some intentional focus on that. So really these would kind of be our marching orders in addition to everything else we do, but to try to move some of the needles that we have not yet moved, if that helps a little bit.
I would move to approval of the strategic directions
Second.
as presented.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call again?
Charles
Roll call?
Spargo,
Okay.
Yes.
Terry Whitmore,
Yes.
Ryan Zietlow,
Yes.
Sean Becker,
Yes.
Betty Brusky Malik,
Yes.
Ron Rasmussen,
Yes.
Rick Merton.
Yes.
You can jump to the next slide, Angie. And
How the
actually
work
jump 2
begins.
slides. I really just have to commend the work of our committee as well as, you can go to the next slide, and the work of these 2 individuals here that have really spent a lot of time validating the data, looking at the data, and trying to articulate that. So, we're not quite across the finish line. We have these next steps that we'd like to take.
Yeah, so the next steps, fall to spring, is really that development of the strategic plan visual and branding it. Spring 25, starting to promote the strategic plan to stakeholders, building that awareness. And then by July 1st of 2025, we'll launch year 1 of the new strategic plan. But we'll also celebrate our results from the 2020-2025 strategic plan.
Thank you for your efforts to get us to this
Yes.
point.
Thank you.
I have to say, it feels so good to have a strategic plan and then be a part of an organization that works it. Because it is so powerful when everybody takes it serious and we really live it out. Because a lot of times in organizations, they get made and then you know what happens.
They sit on the
Don't
shelf.
look at them.
Yeah.
Well, I
So
mean,
thank you. It's incredible. Yeah.
thanks for saying that, Terry. It's a lot of work by a lot
Oh,
of
my
people, but I think
gosh.
when you have outcomes,
Well, that's why it sits on
People
shelves,
see-
I think.
Brian, you want to come up? So next we have a meta opening with Chris and Ryan. Yeah, just a comment on that. One of the mills I used to work with, the mill manager would put together annual goals, that was a huge binder and again, it sat on the shelf, If you just had a couple of very specific strategic initiatives or goals, you could follow it, but. So tell us.
Yes. So as Shelley alluded to earlier, we had a few events leading up
few.
to the opening of our Meta Center. So Ryan Koski, our dean for our School of Applied Technology, we're just excited to kind of recap the list of activities that took place in the opening of a Meta.
So our first event that we had was our employee sneak peek, and I remember sitting with the group, our Meta internal team, and Shelley asking the group the question, who goes first? Who is the first group that should see the building? And it was really decided on that. This is something that we had so many employees contribute to this facility financially that it's really important for us to shut the college down early, which we did on July 18th at noon. So that all of our employees could come in with their families and just check the place out. So we had just about 100 people, 100 employees plus family members show up, which was really great turnout. It definitely exceeded my expectations. It was really outstanding to have folks just come network with each other and socialize. We did some additional that was, if you recall, the night of our Rafters baseball game as well. So we moved to have some additional giveaways for those that came in and put their name in the hat for drawing items at the Meta Center sneak peek. So really just a great time for all of us and a good chance. And people were I think the people walking in the door, we achieved that wow factor when they walk in and you hear a lot of wows. It's great.
So the sneak peek took place on that Thursday, July 18th, and then Monday, July 22nd, we had all hands on deck, and we were able to, you can take a look at that picture in that tent. We had a packed house of over really 300 business partners and donors to be able to celebrate the $5 million that was raised to support the Meta Center campaign. So you can see throughout that lunch we had Shelley really kind of share the story of a Meta, the partnerships, and mainly really provided a thank you. Shelley, you provided a thank you to all those donors that were there. Wayne was there and had an opportunity to share remarks, and then after all of the remarks that were shared, all of the donors were able to tour the Meta Center for the first time,
Was there anybody there that wasn't at the lunch, Ron? You weren't at the lunch?
No.
So Wayne is up, right? This is the timing on this, you'll get it, but, so Wayne is up on the podium and he's starting to give a spiel. One of the balloons pops behind him and he goes. It was great.
look at the people though, when you just
Yeah.
look how
Yeah,
many people.
wow.
Kudos to all the staff. I mean, you don't hire an outside person to do all this. This is all our staff planning that event. They did just an amazing.
I think folks started showing up at about 7 o'clock in the morning to get that tent looking as beautiful as it was. I mean, when you saw everything that was on the table, and if you look at the next slide, Angie, these were the items that we really wanted to recognize all of our individual donors as well as our employer donors that were called out as sponsors inside the building. Just a small thank you token on behalf of the college.
So then after our donor celebration, we gave folks a chance to network inside the facility and take kind of walk through or chance to walk through the building. And then at 1 o'clock, we moved everything outside And Governor Evers was fortunate to have joined us for that celebration on the ribbon cutting, as well as Jimmy Ailey from the CEO of Findorf. These are also the speakers for that event, Wayne, Shelley, and myself, and then Kurt Bauer, the CEO of WMC, the Wisconsin Manufacturers and Commerce for the state. Again, just outstanding, the number of people that were at this. I think we maintained, from donor celebration to ribbon cutting, well over 300 people were in attendance at that event. Definitely, it was great to have the governor there. His contributions to not only a META, $9 million of WIG fund, that Workforce Innovation Grant funding, to not only a META, but also other various college and community-based programs. So it was really just a great celebration, a great chance to show what we have and cut the ribbon on the left and open the doors. So great time for everyone. Certainly a moment that I had anticipated for a long, long time and never thought we'd get there, but we made it and we did it. So it's really great.
And it doesn't end there. So Monday was our day of formal celebration, and then Wednesday and Thursday, our faculty and staff were able to host really kind of a community open house. Jackie and members of Mandy's team were able to provide some outcomes of that. So on Wednesday, we held an open house from 1 until 7. On Thursday of that week, we held an open house from 9 until 1. We had close to 200 additional community members that attended these open houses on the 24th, and then another 100 approximately on the 25th. So an additional 300 people that came there throughout the rest of that week. Of that, we had 4 additional applications that came about from that open house, with about 9 additional students that are still undecided, but we're looking to capture them in enrollments. So some of those folks that attended throughout that Wednesday and Thursday, we had alumni, board members, other K-12 partners. We had some META neighbors that were wondering what is inside this building, and we were able to showcase that, along with some precision machining students that couldn't wait until their classes started. They really wanted to see what was inside the building, along with some additional employers. And I just kind of want to close this event, or this activity, by Jackie provided us with some quotes that folks had expressed from the community as they toured the building, and some of them were these: I can't wait to start school here. Kids nowadays don't have an excuse. This has so much opportunity at this space. And then Central Wisconsin really needed this. It's so fantastic. So we're really excited about what took place at the open house.
My grandson liked the robot.
Cool. Yeah, that's a pretty cool device, and you'll be likely taking action in the next month or two to purchase our own.
Way to team up there, Rick.
Thank you.
So the start of the semester, as you've heard a lot tonight, today was really the start of the traditional semester, fall semester. However, really the Ameta Center opened its doors for students the week of August 5th. We've already had 2 weeks of apprenticeship classes running over there. So we've had ironworkers go through, we've had E&I electrical instrumentation apprentices, a group of plumbers go through. We had a group of welding students in there last week, and then this week we're filling the place up. The parking lot is today. It was great to just see the parking lot be rather full, which was awesome. So great to have that.
Yeah.
So on staffing note, we have there will be once we're at full capacity. We're just about there. I know Mandy and her team posted the last 2 college experience specialist positions just today. So there will be 16 full-time staff there. So 12 full-time faculty, myself, Carly Lee, our office manager, Cole Schmidt, our academic advisor, and then our custodian, Dave. So it's really great that we've got just about everybody on board. it's a really fun group of people, a good core group that are really, all summer long, this group has really made this place happen. Go ahead, Rick.
What collaborative people are there as well, correct?
Yeah, so we have the option of, additional like student services positions, and other folks to come in, if that's what you're referencing.
What's that?
It's the Bureau of Apprenticeship Students.
Oh, sorry, yes,
Yeah, right.
Yes, then Raquel Novak from the Bureau of
Raquel, yeah,
Apprenticeship.
yeah.
Yep, so Raquel has, she is an apprenticeship training representative. She has that office there. You know, Raquel's job is really to be out in the business community, but she has that place now, that landing location to take meetings as we're serving, just over 400 apprentices now. It's great to have that presence in the facility, yeah. So we're off to a good start. We have 17 total programs that will be functional at Ameta, to include the new advanced manufacturing technology program, our automation instrumentation program, the new mechanical design technology, precision machining, welding, civil engineering, metal fabrication, manufacturing operations management, our certificates in gas metal arc welding, process improvement, civil drafting, a university transfer and engineering degree or program, and then the 5 apprenticeship programs, the IBW NECA construction electrician program, our E&I apprenticeship program, electrical instrumentation, ironworkers, machinists, and one of our cohorts of plumbers. So it's really great that we have all these. I think in our latest enrollment report that we receive, all our managers see on Sunday nights, there are 214 students enrolled already. So totaling an FTE of just under 33 FTE. So we projected, when Greg and I, Mandy and I worked on this, when we did our projections and our forecasting for Ameta, we forecasted 295 for the year. So it's working. It's doing it. I mean, it's the if you build it, it will come mentality. We had that all along, but it's happening. So it's great. And I think just today, just in watching who's walking in the door, and then there are still advisement appointments happening throughout the day. So those numbers will be even higher at the end of the year, which is outstanding. So just a couple highlights. So those new programs, starting off strong, or starting off where they should be in comparison to what we had forecasted. We already have eight full-time students. I got to swing back over there on my way home and check in on them, but 8 advanced manufacturing students that are in evening programming right now. And then we have 4 in the mechanical design program as well. So I'm going to just swing in and check on how things are going this evening, and it's off to a great start.
Awesome.
But you wouldn't allow the blacksmithing there, I heard?
It's controversial, Rick.
Okay.
Let's just say we built a white weld shop.
We don't want to get it
that
dirty.
I don't know if I want to test that exhaust system that much right away. Once we get a hood and like a fume extractor set up for that, yeah, absolutely, we can make that happen.
And these are the emails that I'm getting.
Okay.
I would like to show my team the training possibilities you are offering the manufacturing community. We have a variety of disciplines that could benefit from what Midstate has to offer. Of course, those are all going to Craig, but just know that there's
Yeah.
just,
Is that from Monogram?
this particular one is, yes.
Yeah.
So it's really, we got to continue to build it though.
Yeah.
Neat.
Wow.
Very nice. Well, thank you for all your work.
Yes,
What a
thank
wonderful, what a wonderful job. It is. With that, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We have a motion, is there a second? Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you.